Let me tell you, there are mornings that start out so perfect you'd never guess trouble was waiting just around the corner. Like the day the birds wouldn't shut up in Woodland Heights, the sprinklers hissed their own lazy soundtrack, and the sunlight made even the mailboxes look like something out of a movie. That was the day Adrian Carter, billionaire, tech genius, too stubborn for his own good, almost lost everything, not to bad luck or a business rival, but to something far colder and closer than he ever imagined. Adrian was 42, at the top of his game, and on his way to announce a $5 million gift to local schools. Nothing flashy, no press circus, just a quiet morning, and his bright yellow Ferrari parked right in front of the Airbnb he'd booked under a fake name. No security detail, no crowds, just him in a navy suit that probably cost more than most folks' cars, shoes so polished you could see your own stress reflected back, and a head full of tomorrow's plans. The clock read 9:17 a.m. when he finally stepped outside, locking the door behind him, walking slow and loose like a man who's made it and knows it. Maybe that's why the sound hit so hard. A scream, high and panicked, slicing through the peace. "Don't get in the car." Adrian jerked, not sure if he'd heard right. Then he saw him. A skinny black kid in a too big green jacket, racing across the street, face streaked with tears, desperation in every step. "Please, mister, don't sit down. There's something in there. It's not safe." The kid was shaking, voice wild, finger jabbing at the underside of the Ferrari's driver's seat. "I saw a man put something there this morning. Wires, a box. He had gloves." Adrian blinked. Part of him wanted to laugh it off. Kids and their stories. But something in that boy's eyes stopped him cold. He bent down, just a bit, peered under the seat. There it was, black metal, out of place, blinking red. Everything in his chest dropped. He backed away, legs suddenly useless, mind racing ahead to every news story he'd ever read about people who weren't so lucky. For minutes. That's how long it took his security team to storm in. Black SUVs, earpieces, guns tucked out of sight, but tension everywhere. Within seconds they confirmed it. A bomb, rigged to blow the second he sat down. Emergency services locked down the block, bomb squad in full gear, and Adrian just stood there, silent, hands shaking, staring at the kid who'd sprinted out of nowhere and maybe just saved his life. His name was Jamie Brooks, age 7, living 3 doors down with his mother who worked nights at the hospital. Jamie had woken up early, drawn to the window by the quiet before sunrise, saw a man in black crouching by the Ferrari, slipping something underneath. Jamie watched, first thinking it was just a thief, but when he saw the wires, the blinking light, he knew it was something much worse. When Adrian came out, Jamie ran, lungs burning, heart hammering, shouting his warning because he couldn't think of anything else to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes the person who saves you isn't who you'd expect. No badge, no uniform, just a kid with more guts than sense. Adrian knelt down beside him as the chaos whirled around them, told him, "You saved my life, you know that?" Jamie just nodded, scared he'd done something wrong. "My mom's still sleeping. I tried to call 911, but my tablet wouldn't load." Adrian just smiled. "You did more than enough." Later, police confirmed this was no random act. A custom bomb, pressure trigger, meant to kill. No warning, no note, just death in a box. That night, Adrian locked himself in a hotel suite, reviewing security footage with his chief of security. There, in grainy footage, was a hooded man limping away at 5:03 a.m. Something about that limp, the way he walked, set Adrian's nerves on fire. He zoomed in, watched again. It hit him. The man was Malcolm Vane, a name Adrian had tried to bury for 15 years. Malcolm had once been one of Adrian's top engineers, smart, charming, hungry. But greed turned him, and when he tried to steal designs, Adrian turned him in. Malcolm went to prison, lost everything. His job, his home, even his daughter. Adrian never thought he'd see him again, let alone like this. Now, it was personal. Find out everything about him, Adrian told his security chief. And the boy's family. I want to help, quietly. It all unraveled fast. Malcolm had gotten out of prison 8 months ago, no fixed address, but spotted in Woodland Heights just weeks before. Revenge, plain and simple. But what shook Adrian most was the randomness of survival. A child, a choice, a split-second scream. What if Jamie hadn't watched, hadn't trusted his gut, hadn't cared? The next morning, Adrian showed up at Jamie's front door, this time in a black SUV, no flash, just purpose. Jamie's mother, Renee, opened the door, tired but kind, still in her scrubs. "I'm sorry," she stammered. He gets these feelings. He thought something was wrong. Adrian shook his head. "He saved my life. I owe him more than I can say." Upstairs, Jamie sat on his bed, clutching a ragged stuffed lion, eyes wide and worried. Adrian knelt, let the moment settle. "You're not in trouble. Actually, you're kind of a hero." Jamie sniffed, scared of doing something wrong. "I thought you'd be mad." Adrian smiled, that half-broken, honest smile. "Not mad. Grateful. Can I tell you a secret? I was scared too, but you made me brave." Downstairs, Adrian learned about their life. Renee juggling 2 jobs, Jamie with no siblings, his father gone from a factory accident, just holding on the best they could. "Please don't turn us into a headline," Renee pleaded. "We just want to live quietly." Adrian nodded. "I promise. I just want to help." Word got out anyway, as it always does. Footage of Jamie racing across the lawn hit the local news. The story exploded online. Boy saves billionaire from car bomb. Adrian did what he could to protect their privacy, but behind the scenes, he set up a trust fund for Jamie, paid off Renee's mortgage, bought them a new car, anonymous gifts, no fanfare. And, just for good measure, he set aside an academic scholarship for Jamie, to any school he'd ever dream of attending. But Adrian wasn't done. At the gala, 2 weeks later, he stood on stage in front of a sea of suits, ready to announce his donation. Then he paused. "Before I say anything, there's someone braver than me here tonight." He motioned, and Jamie stepped out, awkward in a navy suit, hands clenched at his sides. The crowd gasped, then cheered, the sound echoing up into the chandeliers. Adrian knelt beside him, hand gentle on Jamie's shoulder. "Some people are born into privilege," he said. "Others are born with purpose. When courage meets purpose, lives are saved." He looked Jamie in the eyes. "I owe you mine." After the applause, Adrian and Jamie slipped outside, night air cool, city lights flickering. No Ferrari, no headlines, just a man and a boy sharing a quiet victory. "You ever ridden in a limo before?" Adrian asked. Jamie grinned, shaking his head. "Well, let's fix that. Come on." Funny, isn't it? Sometimes the person who saves you is the one with every reason to keep walking, but chooses to stop. That's what makes a hero. Someone who acts when it matters, no matter who's watching. Now, maybe you think you'd do the same, or maybe you wonder what you'd risk for a stranger. But here's the question. What do we owe to those who save us, even when the world wants to move on? Was Adrian's help enough to balance the scales? Was Malcolm really the villain, or was he just what happens when the world forgets you? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Right and wrong, justice or forgiveness, who decides? If this story made you feel something, share your take. Hit that subscribe button for more stories that make you look twice at the world around you. Stay curious, stay kind, and don't ever underestimate the power of a voice that dares to shout.